Hi everyone, my name's Kirsty from the Kirsty Way Yoga. This is Dutch S if you haven't met her before, and today we have an embodied movement session. So we're going to be pairing breath and movement, and we're going to be incorporating some high intensity work, movement, whatever you want to call it, in there, to really try and start to shift this energy that is inside of us. Maybe for some of us it's feeling stuck or stagnant, and it can be just a really powerful way of pairing that with the breath and with pauses as well. So not just being on autopilot and just going through the motions as we may do in the gym or sometimes in our home workouts, but we're going to be using these more high intensity movements and then the pauses to really notice what is happening inside the body, to notice what is shifting. And the purpose of this is to try and start to change or to notice some patterns that we have, and then to move through this. So what I mean by this is we live in this state of reactivity, and we are constantly either chasing something, a feeling, a thought, a sensation, a person, a situation, or we're running away. So we're avoiding. So we're either chasing or we're avoiding, and we, or most of us, live in this constant state of reactivity. So by using our breath, by using movement, by using the body as sort of a portal to presence, we can start to notice and we can start to shift that pattern, that habitual pattern that we've always carried, and it's so normal to carry as well. So a lot of today is also about getting comfortable in the discomfort, and I'm not going to say more about that, we'll just leave that there. Okay, so what we'll need is just a mat, some comfy clothes. I have 2 blocks. For some of us that might make things easier, but you don't have to have it, especially when we're seated. It can help to elevate the hips, but feel free to sit on a pillow or a cushion. Whatever you have is perfect. Okay, so we're going to start seated today. And if it feels safe for you, to softly close down the eyes. And to start to notice our inner world, our inner experience. And maybe we scan from the top of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Seeing if we can feel the body from the inside out. So we're just dropping a layer deeper than just this skin surface level, and we are seeing if we can notice what's going on the inside. And maybe there is some discomfort somewhere or some pain, and this doesn't have to be physical, it can be emotional or mental. Maybe we find that our thoughts are running wild, that we have some frustration somewhere. And we're going to start this practice of uncoupling thought from feeling. So often when we have a sensation of discomfort, our immediate thought is, I need to avoid this, I need to run away from this, I need to stop this. Which is why we find it so hard to sit in meditation and in stillness. Because for so many of us, myself included, it's so uncomfortable on so many different levels. And we hate discomfort. We just have never learned to sit with it. So now at the start of the practice, can we just take a moment to start to practice sitting with this discomfort, of letting it be exactly as it is, or if there's no discomfort, just letting the body be exactly as it is. And there's no need to change or fix or make anything better. Just hold yourself here in your full humanness. You can just hear Dutchie's pants by the side of me. So maybe this is your reminder to tune into any sounds. We can use the sounds to drop into presence. And as much as possible, again, just uncoupling sensation from thought. And just for this practice, can we practice dropping out of our heads and fully into the moment? And to start to lift the energy, we're going to begin by practicing some what we call school shining breath or Kapalabhati breath. And what this is a sharp exhale through the nose, a sharp continuous exhale through the nose. And the inhales are passive. It's almost like we are pumping the diaphragm. So if you place your hands on your belly, some of us may know Kapalabhati well, so we don't need this sensory or manual feedback from the hand. But if you place the hand on the belly, then we want to feel the belly moving in and out. So it sounds like this. If you've got a cold, it's probably not the best breath to practice, or maybe it is because it clears it out. We're going to take 2 rounds of this. So taking a big inhale and taking a clearing exhale through the mouth. The eyes can stay closed. Big inhale. Kapalabhati. And let that release. Take a big inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Round 2, feel that fire build, that heat build in the belly. Let's go. And let that release. Good. A very cleansing breath. We begin to cleanse and purify from the inside out. We begin to build some heat and some fire. And let's take a big inhale and sweep the arms up to the sky, fingertips to the sky. Feeling the space around you as we inhale. Maybe we take our gaze up towards the sky, towards the fingertips. And as we exhale, just bring those arms back down, pushing the air down. And again, just feeling this space around you. And if you are a visual person here, maybe as we inhale and lift the arms, we might want to create almost a bubble of light around us. We are protecting ourselves and our energy. And as we exhale, we soften down, and again, just creating this energetic space around us that we get to choose how it feels, how it looks, who we let in, what we give out. Take a breath in to lift. And a breath out to once again to soften. Nice work. Placing the fingertips behind the ears. Take a big breath in as we open through the chest, through the shoulders. Heart lifts to the ceiling. And as we breathe out, touch the elbows together. Curl in and close in. Inhale, open up the heart, the chest, the shoulders. Expand and exhale to close. We'll begin to bring a bit of a stronger breath in here. So inhale through the nose. And we can exhale out through the mouth to close. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Out. Bit faster. In. Last time. Let the hands drop. Take a big inhale to lift through the fingertips. And exhale, twisting over to the right. Left hand comes to the right knee. Twist over the right gaze, over the right shoulder. We'll flow through on our inhale. Take a breath in to reach and lengthen. And exhale to twist to the left. Right hand on the left knee. Let's move with our breath. Big inhales, extending the inhales and slowing down the exhales. Helping us to create space in the body, breath in. Space in the mind, breath out. We might even want to use some mantras here. So as we breathe in, we say, I'm aware of my inhale. And as we breathe out, I'm aware of my exhale. And this can help to drop us into presence, to take us out of the head of the mind. Let's go one more time each side. Breath in. Breath out. We might even want to breathe out through the mouth. Just letting the breath go. Maybe any sounds that want to be released. Again, we are dropping out of old habits. Breath in. And breath out to crawl the fingertips forward. Press the hips back. And our old habits may involve what is right or wrong, what we feel we can or can't do. And for a lot of us, myself included, making sound can be uncomfortable. And we've taught to be quiet, to hide our voices, to not be weird with our sounds. So maybe this is a practice that we can start to come into today, to use sound to release and to break through any thought patterns that we have around that. To liberate us, taking the fingertips back in and reaching behind, clasping the hands and opening up through the chest. Beautiful, let that release. Take the block from underneath the sit bones, push them off to the side, and come onto our hands and knees. Just going to take a couple of rounds of cat-cow here. So as we take a breath in, lift the heart, lift the tailbone and the gaze. And as we exhale, tuck the tailbone round the spine, gaze between the legs. You know your body and your breath. So use it to move between these two shapes. And is there anything that is acting as a barrier to presence in this moment? That may be thoughts about the future or the past, or what we need to do. It may be any sensations that we have in the body, any pain, discomfort. We can go side to side here, just really making space in the ribs, across the heart, opposite way. And if at any point in this class we lose our breath, then even if I haven't paused or if I haven't guided you to pause, then take your own pause. Take your own moment of silence, of sacredness. Come back to center. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Good. We can pedal the feet out here. Just bending one knee and the other. And if you'd like to join me by doing some wavy dogs, we press into the hands as we inhale, come forward to plank. And as we exhale, bend the knees, scoop the hips up and back, downward dog. Breath into plank. Breath out. Scoop the hips, downward dog. Good, just like a wave in the ocean. I'm going to continue this movement. And I like to make my shape a little bit longer, so you might want to walk the hands forward a little bit. A wave in the ocean. Just like these thoughts that we have, these sensations, this wave is impermanent, and we forget that we are actually the entire ocean and not just the waves. Let's go, last one. Coming back to center, starting to walk the feet forward towards the hands. As we take an inhale, fingertips to shins, take a flat back, gaze forward. And as we exhale, forward fold. Again, just like a wave, take a breath in to halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, drape the belly down the thighs, bend the knees. Breath in, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Breath out to forward fold, Uttanasana, pressing through all four corners of the feet. Last time, breath in. And breath out. Pressing through the feet as we start to rise through the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, maybe the hands travel up the legs. We feel into the body as we take a breath in to reach up through the fingertips. And a breath out to bring the palms together through the third eye, the lips, the throat, the heart. Eventually settle in at the heart. Breathe in deeply here, allowing this breath to bring us into this very moment. And this very moment is all that there is. This very moment is all that matters. And can we take a breath in? And a release through the mouth. Bringing the hands down by the sides of the body. And I'm just going to invite you to move how you want to move here. So for some of us, that may be a little bit of a shake. It may be a move around. But see if we can just let the body be free here. And we might want to forward fold. We might want to take a lap around the mat. Again, what have we been told about, or what beliefs do we have about how safe it is to move our bodies in a way that feels in tune with ourselves? So often we get taught yoga classes, we get taught movement classes, and we just follow the guidance of our teacher. So we actually forget that our bodies have this wisdom and they know how they want to move. And the more that we practice this, the more that we can access this wisdom on a daily basis. So you just shake it out wherever you are. Let the movement come from the ankles, the knees, the hips, and then into the shoulders. Any sounds that want to come out, any big breaths or big release. Let go of this fear of looking silly. And we'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just come to stillness. Step the feet together. Place the hands on the body, anywhere that feels necessary for you. So maybe the belly, maybe the heart. Taking a sacred pause here to notice where maybe the energy is shifted. To let ourselves settle and to land in our sensations. Releasing the hands. And we'll move into our moving meditation of our sun salutations. So taking the feet hips width apart. Spreading the toes out on the mat, creating that firm foundation with the feet. As we take a breath in, reach up through the fingertips. And as we breathe out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breath in to halfway lift. Breath out to step back to plank. Drop the knees, untuck the toes as we lower down onto the belly and the chest. Take a breath into baby cobra. Peel the chest up. And as if we're holding a pen between the shoulder blades, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breath out to release. Tuck the toes, press into plank. And we're going to stay in our plank for 10. 9, squeeze the glutes. 8, press the floor away. 7, 6, stay with the breath. 5, 4, 3, we can drop to the knees anytime. 2, and 1, lift the hips up, back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth, stick the tongue out. 2 more times, breath in. Stick the tongue out, let it go through the mouth. Last breath in. And last lion's breath out. Step, hop or jump to the front of the mat. As we take an inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to forward fold. Press through the feet, rise through the spine. Take a breath in to lift. And we're coming straight back down. Exhale to forward fold. Move with the body. The body is the wave. Take a breath out, plant the hands, step the feet back to our plank. Either on the knees or forward on the toes, slow lower down. Take a breath in, either baby cobra or higher cobra. Breath out, peel the chest down. Breath in, press to plank. And let's stay for 10, 9, 8, 7. What are your thoughts telling you here? Are they telling you that you can't do it? Are they telling you to give up? And sometimes giving up is the answer. It is the answer. And sometimes giving up is based in fear or a lack of self-confidence. And it's this discernment that we need to drop into. We've definitely passed 10. Let's lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in through the nose. Lion's breath out, let it go. Breath in. Stick the tongue out, let it go. Last breath into the ribs, into the chest. And breath out. Let it release. Good. Step, hop, jump to the top of the mat. Breath into Ardha Uttanasana. Breath out to Uttanasana fold, roll through the spine. Take a breath in to gaze up towards the fingertips. And exhale, release Uttanasana. Maybe some heat is building, take a breath in. Breath out to move through your vinyasa, either step or hop. Peel the chest down. Tuck the toes, lift a plank. And stay here. And breathe. And notice any temptation to avoid or to run away, to react to this discomfort. How can we start to shift this pattern here? How can we sit with the discomfort? Not by pretending that it isn't painful or uncomfortable, but can we maybe use our breath? Or can we drop into the sounds around us? Or can we go to the very source of discomfort, maybe in the shoulders or the core, wherever it may be, and create some softness around it? We've got 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop onto the belly once again. Extend through the right arm. The palm is down. And we're just going to roll over that right side onto the right hip. And then we're going to roll onto the left. So extending the left arm, rolling onto the left. Take a moment to catch your breath, because we are going to challenge it again very soon. Take a roll to the right. And a roll to the left. Back to center. We're coming back into plank. And we're going to go for some mountain climbers. So we can either step right knee, left knee, or we can lift up the energy a little bit and go right, left, right, left. Let's go. And we're going to stay here for a little bit longer than you would probably like. And maybe for a little bit longer than you think you can. And notice what comes up for you. Notice if the discomfort is actually in the body or if it's in the mind. And use this practice of uncoupling thought from sensation. Let's go. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees. Sit back on the shins, either in child's pose or upright through the spine. Place the hands on the body and drop in. Regulate the breath. Feel the heartbeat. Maybe a little bit faster now than it was. And notice if there is any resistance. So Tara Brach has a nice little formula that is obviously simplified, where she says pain times resistance equals suffering. So she says that to suffer is a choice, not often a conscious choice. And pain is obviously not a choice, But when we resist, we contract, we create tension, we increase our suffering tenfold. So see if here in these moments of pause we can release resistance. We can just let it go. Okay, we're coming straight back into our plank. We've got one more set of mountain climbers. Into plank, choose your options here. We've done it once, we know we can do it. Let's go again. We're going to go left, right, left, right. And if you lose the breath, again, take a pause. Know that you are in control of your body. Ten, 9, 8, I'm counting slower than last time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the shins. Bring yourself up or into child's pose. Lengthen the breath. Place the hands on the body. Gaining access to that feedback that the body is constantly giving us, always giving us messages. And release the hands. Coming back into our downward facing dog. Lifting the hips, taking a pause here. Spreading through the fingers, creating the connection of the hands on the earth. And then step, hop, jump to the front of the mat. As we take an inhale forward into our Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release, forward fold. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. Bend through the knees. And just move whatever needs to be moved in the spine. Maybe a side to side or a forward and back. And notice how it's the foundations of the feet, the stability of the feet that then allows the upper body to have freedom and to move. Release the hands, sink into the heels. As we take an inhale to our chair pose and an exhale to stand. Good. Inhale to reach up through the fingertips. And an exhale, we're going to breathe out through the mouth, throw the fingertips back and sink into the heels, making any sound that feels appropriate to come out. Breath in to reach, breath out to throw it back. Let everything move here. Not just the physical body, but anything that's going on the inside that feels stuck or stagnant. Let it come out through the breath, through the exhale. And maybe there's a part of you that says, I don't want to do this anymore. And we decide whether that's the fearful part, the part that wants to avoid, to run away, or if that is, in fact, the true self talking that says, no, I deserve to rest. I need to rest. We've got 5, 3, 2, and 1. Coming into our chair pose. Maybe we place, still in our chair pose, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Can we sink down any lower? Can we find any softening, any comfort in the discomfort here? And can we let the sensations of our body bring us into this sense of aliveness? The beating of the heart, the heat on the skin, the breath moving quicker in and out of the belly, all reminds us that we are alive. Breath in to reach up through the fingertips, and a breath out to forward fold. Breath in to halfway lift. Take your vinyasa or meet in a downward facing dog. As the right leg lifts, take an inhale. And exhale, step that right foot in between the hands. We're going to come into high lunge here. Breath in to reach up. And then a breath out as we cactus the arms. Tap the back knee. Okay, we're going to go as quick as you like here. If you follow me, we're going to go fairly quickly, but you can always choose to pause. You can choose to slow down the movement. And again, we're going to use the breath. Breath in and out. We've got 4. Let whatever move. 2 and 1. Good. Frame the front foot. Step back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath into plank and a breath out to move through your vinyasa. Breath into your back bend. Breath out to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Keep that energy lifted. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Take a breath into our high lunge. Second side. Maybe the sweat is pouring off. It's hot in here today for me, so it is. But again, these reminders of this aliveness. Take a breath in and out. And as we breathe out, can we open? Can we expand? Can we present the heart? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Frame the front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to move forward to plank. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. Breath into your back bend. Whatever form these shapes may take, breath out to downward facing dog. And we're going to take a pause here. So maybe you stay in your down dog. Maybe we drop to the knees or to child's pose. Maybe we choose to once again place the hands on the body. To drop into sensation with compassion. And to remind ourselves why we're here, our intention. So how many times have you gone to the gym or done a home workout or gone for a run, gone for a walk for the pure intention of burning calories or losing weight, being dictated by numbers or shame around the body and how it looks? And here in this moment, can we shift that intention? And that might not be why you came to your mat today. I hope it wasn't. How can we change our deep, habitual thought patterns around our bodies, around movement? Maybe we create the tiniest shift here. By recognizing what movement can do for us when we use it to enhance our best selves. So how it can move this energy around, how it can shift us and lift us, make us feel alive, bring us home to our bodies without the need for anything to be different. And release. Bring yourself back to your downward facing dog. Step, hop, jump towards the front of the mat. Breath in to our halfway lift. And breath out to forward fold. Breath into your chair pose. And sinking the hips. Lower, lower, lower. Finding our way onto our sit bones, into our half boat. Are we ready for a little bit of core? So we're going to take an inhale to our half boat and an exhale. No, inhale to our low boat, exhale to half boat. If this is too much, we can always clasp behind the hamstrings and just do some toe taps. And feel free to place the feet down whenever it does get too much. Again, this distinguishing between discomfort, avoidance, and actually nourishing and taking rest. Find boundary. Breath in, breath out. Low boat. In, out. Use the breath. In, out. Can we get into a rhythm here? Rhythm and repetition can be so powerful to help us to land in the body rather than being in the head. I think we've got 6 more in us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, hold, hold. Low boat. Squeeze everything into the midline. And let it release. Well done. Bend the knees. Just give the knees a side to side. Smoothing out the breath. I'm going to continue with some core work here by taking a block. If you don't have a block, no problem. We don't even need to substitute. I'm going to squeeze the block in between the hands and lift it back. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling. And we're going to go lower the left leg and reach over towards the right. Breath in, both legs to the ceiling, extend back. And exhale, reach over to the left, drop the right leg. In to extend back. Exhale, drop the left leg, reach over to the right. Okay, use the breath. And if at any point during the class you do find yourself saying, oh, I wish this was over, what time is it? It's normal. And the simplest but most profound
advice that I can give, or I don't even know if it is advice, but is that the thoughts are just thoughts. They are obviously so important, but they are not necessarily truth. They do not have to be followed. We do not have to give them all of our power. How many times has your brain told you, this is good for you, you need this is what we really want? And you've got this little inkling of the higher self being like, I don't think that this is what we need. I think maybe that's the important distinction. The thoughts are what we want, and the higher self is what we need. And sometimes there is a big discrepancy between those two things. What we need is not always what we want. Let's go one more each side, wherever you are. And then release down, release the block. Take the legs to any position. I like to have my knees knocking in towards each other. Place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Begin to smoothen out the breath, to lengthen the breath. Don't get too comfortable, we're not quite done yet. We have to take these moments of pause, these moments of integration. We can't begin to shift or to change our habitual patterns if we are on autopilot, moving from moment to moment through the day, with no awareness of what's going on inside. And for some of us, these moments of stillness, of pause, may be more uncomfortable than the moments of high intensity, the mountain climbers, the burpees, the out of breath, the heart rate. Sometimes it's even harder to just take this space and to sit in stillness. Soften around the eyes, the jaw, the shoulders, the belly. For our final breath. And then hug in behind the knees. We'll begin to take some rocks up and down the spine. And I can just tell that a few of you are like, no, let me stay in Shavasana. We're nearly there. We're going to find our feet back into chair. And lifting all the way to the ceiling, slight back bend here as we reach back, open through the heart. And exhale, hands come towards the chest. Okay, stepping into a wide leg position. I'm going to move through a little warrior two flow as such, but we're really going to repeat these movements using the breath. So we're going to inhale. One sec, let me figure this out. Yeah, okay. We are going to inhale here, turning the left foot out to the front. Exhale to bend into the front knee, so warrior two, gazing over the front fingertips. Breath in, we'll turn the feet so they are parallel to each other, clasping the hands above the head and the pointer fingers facing up. And breath out, as if we are trying to cut a piece of wood in half. We're going to breathe out, so the hands come between the legs. Breathe in, back to center, and then breathe out. The right toes turn out, warrior two towards the back of the mat. And we're going to use this breath to help us to move. So breath in, breath out, warrior two to the left. Into center, out down the middle. In, out, warrior two. Center, chop, center, warrior two. Use the breath in, chop, in, two, in, Let this breath move through you. Let the energy lift and lower and release. You don't even need to intellectually bring something to mind that you want to release. You can just feel it in the body. And then let the breath, let the body help to shift this, help to even release just that slightest bit. One more each side. Good, back to center. Parallel through the feet, and then just take a really soft forward fold. Maybe taking a little sway from side to side. Noticing what's going on here. Rolling up through the spine. Placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. We can choose to stay in this wide leg. Feeling all of those open spaces. And then reach out through the fingertips, reach out through the toes. So we are in a big 5-pointed star. And whatever we've created here, just wrap yourself in this bubble. And then we can start to expand through this energy field if it feels right for you, so we don't have to keep it in this bubble. We can start to expand through the fingertips, through the chest, the heart. Asking yourself, how open do I feel in this moment? And then once again, bring all of that back in, pulling it all the way into your own heart space. And maybe we bring the feet together. So we just close off ever so slightly. Keeping this balance between the expansion, the giving out to the world, to the people who need us, who love us, and also giving that back to ourselves. Releasing the hands. And just taking it to the front of the mat. And then dropping down the legs, forward fold. Good, come into sit. Find the sit bones. And then placing the hands behind us, fingertips pointing towards the hips, but some people like to have them pointed out or even to the side, so just find a hand position that works for you. And we're either going to inhale by lifting the hips, opening up through the shoulders in a reverse tabletop, and come back down. Or we're going to press into the right hand, lift the left leg, tap, and down. So choose your option here, wherever we might be. Breath in to lift, and out to tap. In and out, tap the hips. Lift, tap, hand down, tap, lift. So we're swapping legs. It takes a bit of balance. What is your ability to laugh at yourself when you fall, to play? I'll do one more each side. And let that release. And then just shake out the arms, the shoulders, move through the spine. If you want to get up and if you want to have a final shake, if anything still feels stuck, and notice how it feels to shake now compared to the start of the class. Maybe there's something that feels a little bit lighter. You might even want to have a little bit of a hop around. Just let anything go. Any sounds, any movement. And then come into stillness. Find your way to your seat if you haven't done so already. Extend the legs out in front of you. You can either choose to take a Paschimottanasana here, forward fold with straight legs, or you can take a Baddha Konasana, placing the soles of the feet together, or we can take an Upper Vista Konasana by extending the legs out, opening through the hips. Feel into it. Feel into what works for you. We want to forward fold wherever we are here. And once again, begin to smooth out the breath. Noticing where the breath, which spaces the breath fills or wants to fill. And acknowledging and appreciating that your breath is your constant messenger for what's going on inside. It's constantly telling us about how safe we are, the state of our nervous system. When we lose our breath, we lose our connection with life as it is. We lose our connection with our true selves. And with the magic that is inside of us. And just start to slowly come back up wherever we are. To bring the legs together, to give ourselves a hug, wrap the arms around the shins, maybe have a rock from side to side. And coming back to center here to find our sit bones. Maybe you want a block. Sitting up straight through the spine. And just finishing off our practice by doing a little bit of heart activation, followed by some coherent breath to really bring ourselves down to land in that parasympathetic nervous system. So all we're going to do, like a butterfly flapping its wings, is to tap the chest side to side in a consistent rhythm with the eyes closed. Not so hard that it hurts, but hard enough that we can feel a resonance through the chest, that we can feel that vibration. And if you choose to, on the exhale, you can hum. And I'll do this with you a couple of times and then stop in case you don't want to hum or hear me humming. Taking a breath in. And then release the hands. Choose to either stay seated or to take a lie down. Just practicing a few rounds of coherent breath. So we're going to breathe in for 4 and then out for 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. 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 And then just settling into your natural breath. And we think about this concept of shifting our habitual patterns, of learning to find comfort within the discomfort. And Brené Brown uses a technique where when she's in an uncomfortable situation or conflict or disagreement, or when she experiences suffering, she asks, what is the story I'm telling myself? What is the story I'm telling myself? We all have our own constant narratives going on through our heads, a constant stream of thoughts throughout the day. And maybe there's a situation that you can bring to mind. And maybe you notice that your instant reaction to that is, no, it's not my own narrative, it's not my story, this is truth, this is what happened. And I'm not negating that at all or how important it is. But sometimes it's crucial to distinguish between our own narratives and then this openness, this vastness of truth. Of what's really happening behind the scenes. Of a different perspective that we can view it from when we break free of our rigid narratives
that are really just the consequence of everything that's ever happened to us. What is the story I'm telling myself? Is there any way that I can infuse any compassion to this story? Is there any way that I can sit in the discomfort without running away, or even without running towards, without the judgment or the criticism or the blame? And then just being here in your full humanness. In your exquisite body that may not work or look or function like you exactly want it to. But knowing that this is here, that this is what you have, that this is your access to life. Maybe we finish up by placing the hands on a part of the body that it feels necessary. And for a lot of us, that may be the heart space. Or it may be our bellies. Or even our hips or our thighs. Or you may even choose to not place the hands in one particular place and to almost give yourself a hug or a massage, whatever it may be, knowing that self-touch can be so powerful. And I'm going to leave you here to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. Or if you want to come up to seated, please slowly do so. Staying in this space of nourishment, of relaxation, this parasympathetic response, of presence, of peace. And we bring our hands to the middle of the eyebrows to remind ourselves of the power of our thoughts and to remind ourselves that we are not our thoughts. We bring the thumbs to the throat to remind ourselves of the power of our words and our voice and our truth. And the thumbs to the heart space to remind ourselves of where our true power lies in the heart, the love that we have inside of us and all around us. Final breath in through the nose, use the breath, and release through the mouth. And from my heart to yours, namaste.